it's over. Do you need anything like I need you? I've got no place to be.
Let's go! What's up, people? Here we go. I just wanna be free. Let's go. Would love the Gonzo poster. Dude, that poster on the wall doesn't have anything to do with Hunter Thompson. It's a documentary movie, right? Gonzo for Democracy. But Hunter Thompson is great though.
Hey, I just want to change the
Let's
world.
go. Dude,
I just want
Wild
the
Man.
perfect girl. I don't want to hang around. I'd rather be found. It gets
Dude.
better.
Oh shit. I'm tired, man.
Pleasure
Together. Trying to summon the energy.
waiting.
Dude, your power is out. Oh no. Where are you at? What state are you in, love? All right, here we go. Let's try to summon some energy. I will never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they said. My heart's unbreaking. Your radiant truth. I know that you will understand, because I finally found myself. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant.
Hey,
Dude, there's power out in
I
Oregon?
just want to change
Oh shit,
the
boss.
world.
Ooh, let's hope
But I'm
ours
not
holds
gonna
up.
wait my turn.
We got power. We're
I
holding.
don't ever want to come down. I'd rather be found. It gets better. I wonder. My pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating.
Just came back in 𝗙liche. Oh shit, boss. That's brutal. I will never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they said. My heart's unbreaking. Your radiant truth. I know that you will understand, because I finally found myself. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant. You're radiant. Let's go. Come on, get hyped. Yeah, in my world. Woo. Let's go. No, 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 no. Hey, 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 hey. Woo. I can't pretend. No, 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 no. I hope it never ends. It's about you. I will never be alone again.
me sad, my heart's unbreaking. You're radiant truth. I know that you will understand, because I finally found myself. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant. You're radiant. Oh, yeah. Oh, oh, oh.
Oh, let's go. All right. All right. So many questions in the chat tonight. Let me address some of them here to get started. All right. So first off, somebody asked about my memoir. Okay. And let me tell you, I do have a plan in mind. Okay. I have a plan in mind. Now, I'm not saying this plan is going to happen, but if I were to identify what my plan is as far as getting a memoir, it would be this. It would be, I am 56 right now. So sometimes between now and the age of 60, the next 4 years, right? 4 or 5 years, I would like to be able to make enough money to be able to buy an apartment in the East Village. Doesn't have to be huge, doesn't have to be massive, but it would be a small apartment in the East Village in New York City. I've always wanted to live there. I've never been able to live there. And I think it would be great to spend a chunk of my 60s in an apartment in the East Village, walking around New York City and writing a memoir. Okay? That I think would be amazing. Right? Go to New York City, explore like all of the fucking places that inspired all the art that I like have been passionate about, and write a book. Okay. So I'm not sure if that's going to happen, right? I don't know if I'm ever going to make enough money to be able to buy an apartment there, but you never know. Okay. That I think would be amazing though. I would like to write it in a city like that though, where I can walk and coffee shop and sidewalk cafes, and you know what I'm saying? That would be amazing, right? You're Chicagoan, you love the city, let's go. Dude, Chicago's a pretty cool city too. Pretty fucking fabulous, dude. Really great theater scene there. So that's what I would love to do as far as a memoir goes. Now there's another reason though why the financial buying an apartment in New York would be tied to the buying or to the writing of the memoir, is because the one thing in my life that I've never had was like financial security. Okay. I kind of had it like during the pandemic. Ironically, when everyone else was financially insecure and I blew up and became a famous Fortnite streamer, that was the first time I had real financial security, was during the pandemic. So I've always wanted to wait until I achieved like deep financial security till I climbed that mountain to write a memoir, right? Because I feel like the memoir would kind of be about that, being about looking back at a life led where you just simply never worried about financial security. And then one day you finally achieved it, you know, in your 60s. And we're like, okay, let's go back and look at the fucking, the life that we've lived. Right. So that was one of the things, you know what I'm saying? Dude, yeah, no, it's pretty expensive in New York City. I mean, I've been looking and, you know, you can find really small things for like 500,000, and, you know, something decent is about 2 million. You know what I mean? Why not an outer borough? Well, because the East Village is like, has a connection, right? You know what I'm saying? And Manhattan to me has a connection, right? So that's one thing. And yeah, Toku's not new. He was just gone for a while, right? He's not. What was your old name, Toku? I'm like, dude, I'm having trouble remembering all the shit. But anyway, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. But we'll get to one at some point, right? A memoir. I think it would be a really great book. It was Eugene. Got you. Now, somebody else asked about like being here. I am in Portland, right? I'm in Portland. I'm in the city though, right? We're like urban. We're in urban Portland, right? We're not in the outer boroughs of Portland. You know, but Eugene on Twitch. Yeah, what was it here? What was it always just Toku here? But yeah, man, I don't know. We'll see. Dude, the Dodgers did come alive tonight. That was kind of nice to see. Cause I mean, dude, I want the Dodgers to win. I do. I want the Blue Jays to pay for knocking off the Mariners. All right. I am petty like that. And the Raiders are definitely not going to lose tomorrow. Let's go. That's why I broke out the Raider hat. Actually, they have a bye week this week. So this will be a week that they don't lose because they don't play. Portland is burned to the ground. I know, guys. I know. Just so you know, like Portland has indeed burned to the ground. This is all a green screen behind me, right? Because sadly, Portland is no longer here, right? Portland is gone, burned, right? There's fires everywhere. There is strife everywhere. Holy shit, guys. Can I just tell you, I added Candace Owens' name to the fucking, I had to add Candace Owens' name to the stream title because we got to go look at her, boss. Because like, I just read some shit about her. I think she went off the deep end today, guys. Like deep. You had to take a political break for a bit. Dude, guys, I'll be honest. The last 3 or 4 days, I've been feeling fucking overwhelmed. You know what I'm saying? I have. I've been feeling overwhelmed to the point where I sort of get online and I try to figure like what should I cover tonight? And I look through everything that people are posting in the Discord and I just don't even know what to pick. Like I am so overwhelmed and everything seems like important and not important at the same time. You know what I mean? And yes, there's too much. It's like there's so much overreaction and over fucking like instigation and agitation in every corner. Like even in Portland, right? You know what I'm saying? Even here in Portland, in my hometown, if I get on Twitter, there's like 20 right-wing influencers that are every night. Okay, every night they are out there like antagonizing people and filming content and posting this shit. Portland, the cops are Antifa, this, that, or the other. Dude, it's like, it is just fucking so overwhelming, bro. It is. You know what I mean? Taking up the oxygen. Rach, the fucking great way of putting it. That's what it is. It's like they are swallowing up all of the oxygen for everybody, dude. You know what I mean? And it's all bullshit, too. It is all fucking bullshit. Dude, it is, you're right, a fire hose. Great way of putting it. Like MAGA is a fire hose of fucking bullshit, dude. It is so grimy, right? It is. Strum my guitar. Dude, I never strum my guitar, boss. Right? Write a protest song. Dude, I never play guitar. Hardly ever. Right? I don't have time, bro. I don't even have enough time to get the amount of videos I want done. I'm like so stretched for time. Dude, it's crazy. It's just so hard, right? It's so hard. I know it's right there, boss. It's there as a memory. I got too much shit to do, boss. I'm fucking making a living, right? Making a living. trying to fucking make an impact. Hopefully that pine box will be delivered soon. One would hope, bro. I ordered one on Amazon. Right? One pine box, please. Oh, shit. Dude, I know their goal is to just like overwhelm. But man, dude, it is outrageous. But so let's start with the fucking MAGA pastor. Okay? We've been covering some MAGA pastors. And this guy is pretty crazy. Okay? You've seen he was on the thumbnail. He was on yesterday's thumbnail because I was hoping to get to him yesterday. But it is this guy. Right? We saw this post, okay? This was the post I saw. I then looked this guy up, okay? This guy from Elkins, West Virginia, right? He's the Charlie Kirk fan, the young Charlie Kirk inspired fucking freedom pastor, who of course was arrested for everything that, you know, that these Republicans always get busted for. It's like, bro, how? I don't understand how every MAGA shit kicker is like a child abuser. What is going on with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, how? How the fuck is it, bro? It is like the numbers are insane, dude. You couldn't even make this shit up. You know what I'm saying? It's just astonishing how crazy it is. All right, so here he is. There's the wider shot of him, and I believe this is a picture of Charlie Kirk. He's actually like, you know, like talking about Charlie Kirk to his fucking congregation. But so this one, guys, is pretty nefarious, okay? He is here. Let's pull him up. Hold on, let me fucking pull him up, and we'll get him going. Dude, West Virginia, Elkins, West Virginia, by the way, is a population 6,000 people. Okay, it's a tiny fucking town that is like right by like sort of south of Morgantown. Okay, dude, Toku, let's go. Thank you for the sticker, boss. The town of 6,000 people. Okay. Okay, so here is hold on, my shit's frozen, bro. All right. I guess we're gonna have to fucking turn the dude, the ads, bro. Oh my god, the ads like freeze up my shit. All right, there we go. We're going to go reader mode. Dude, what the fuck is going on, boss? Dude, their fucking site is like crashing my shit. All right. There we go. All right, there we go. Jesus. Dude, yeah, these sites are so fucking terrible, bro. There we go. All right. So now the charges are heading to the grand jury. Okay? So here it is, Elkins, West Virginia. Again, it's a town of 6,000 people, Dude, why is this shit fucking freezing my shit, bro? Oh, bro. The Elkins files? Oh, shit. All right. Dude, I am just fucking gonna find a different news site, bro. That was insane. Oh, my God, dude. All right. All right. Fucking insane. All right, here we go. Jesus. All right. So there he is. Look at this, though. Here he is. Kevin Jones is his name. Okay? Dude, good old Kevin Jones. Bro. I mean, guys, it is like, again, this is in West Virginia. Okay? This is in a small town of like 7,000 people in West Virginia. Okay? It's like southeast of Morgantown. Okay, it's down in the, West Virginia is kind of like a fucking eggplant, and it's sort of in near the root of the eggplant down there. All right. Now, the thing that's really wild about this, again, is the how much of the MAGA, especially religious MAGA, they talk about groomers. They call people pedos. They are constantly attacking LGBTQ people as though they're problematic, they're harmful, they're dangerous. And then like clockwork, man, these like MAGA grooming pastors are constantly getting busted for, interacting and, having sex or trying to have sex with fucking children, bro. It's just so gnarly. Let's watch the little news report.
Welcome to 5 News at 5. I'm 𝗙𝗪𝗪𝗏.
Dude, wow, bro. Dude, look at the fucking... Dude, can we just pause to say, like, the West Virginia news people have the hair, bro? Dude, like, let's go, bro. Yo, dude, this is a newscaster in West Virginia, bro. Local news. Like, fucking A, boss. I love it, dude. Holy shit, bro. Dude, this is amazing. Dude, 𝗙𝗪𝗪𝗏𝗧. All right, Dante, bring us the fucking straight dope, brother. Let's go.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to 5 News at 5. I'm 𝗙𝗪𝗪𝗏𝗏. Thank you for joining us on this Friday. Well, a pastor of a church in Elkins has been arrested for soliciting a minor via a computer. This is our top story tonight. 33-year-old Kevin Jones, shown on your screen as a pastor at Summit Church in Elkins. He was arrested on October 2nd and charged with soliciting a minor via computer. Since then, an additional charge of exhibiting materials of minors engaged in sexually explicit conduct has been added. No further information about the investigation is available at this time. However, police say the investigation is ongoing. Jones is currently being held in the Tigard Valley Regional Jail with a bond set at $50,000 for each charge.
Shit, for each charge, dude. 50 G's
set at
per charge. So
for
100 grand bond, and even more if they start pulling up other charges. But there he is. So he's 33. He's the same age as Charlie Kirk, like 2 years older than him. Again, we have him here, like celebrating with his congregation, talking about Charlie Kirk with the white freedom shirt. He's a big fan of Charlie Kirk. He's a big fan of Charlie Kirk's ministry and Charlie Kirk's, attempt to save the young people. But of course, this guy ain't saving any young people. Okay? He's being investigated by the Mountain Region Drug and Violent Crime Task Force. Okay, so he was arrested for soliciting a minor via computer. And then they added a charge of having some material that shows minors engaged in some no-nos. Okay. And it says there's legislation that prevents media from attaining the criminal narratives about these types of crimes. So they've been unable to get more information about it. However, there actually is some more information about this guy. Let me find this one. This is the one that I was looking from one of the local papers. Okay, so here it is. So they found sexually explicit content on his cell phone, including an AI-generated image of the victim. Okay, so he was arrested and on October 1st. Okay, he's being held in a regional jail. So here's what they said. So they issued a search warrant for digital evidence from his cellular devices. Okay, they located several images of a juvenile on his cell phone. Okay, and it goes into a little bit of detail that there were some pictures of this person in multiple images of this underage person in their underwear. Okay, and like some type of like underage sexting was sort of going on. Okay, then they had let's see. And so I guess what it was is that some of the imagery, okay, was before the situation was some of this was I believe the girl turned 18, okay, but some of the content he had was before she was 18, okay? That was the problem. And then there's an AI generated image of like the girl with being like fully nude, which is like insane, bro. Right? Okay. Sorry. But here's where it gets gnarly, guys. I don't want to go too into the graphic detail of what they had. But what it is there are multiple instances of this girl, being sexualized in underwear and communicating him with about this stuff. He's got this in his phone with an underage girl, and then he was making AI images of her naked, which is like, dude, what the fuck, bro? And can I just say, we have to start being real stringent on those AI like deep fake images, because that shit is not okay. Okay, that shit is making an AI deep fake of a person is like gnarly violation of the person's privacy, and they're like, it's like sexualizing them non-consensually. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think it's as bad as if you were putting a hidden camera in their fucking shower. You know what I'm saying? It is like that bad. It is really toxic to, you know what I'm saying? It is like about as rapey as you can get with your hands off. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is gnarly. So here's what they have though. Is the part of soliciting this person with his computer is because, guys, he was connected to this girl, okay? The alleged victim was an attending member of the church, okay? The victim was a member of his church congregation, guys, okay? This is not just, it wasn't some random, right? It's one of his flock, bro. Like, super creepy. Okay, so they applied for a search warrant to seize all relevant cellular devices, flash drives, storage devices, computers, etc. Okay, they found Jones in an RV at the campground. Okay, so this guy's living in an RV out on a campground, and there were a large amount of cellular devices and storage devices that were seized. Okay, then they also brought the alleged victim, who came out of the RV to speak with him. So when they went to bust this guy, dude, yeah, that's wild. When they went to bust this guy, the victim was in the RV with him. Bro, dude. No way, dude. Like, come on, bro. Dude, it is not looking good to be a creepy ass, like Minister Gooner. Bro, I mean, what are these people doing? And yeah, not a trans person, not a drag queen. It's never the trans people. It's never the drag queens, guys. It is always the pastors. It is always the Republicans. Hold on, before we get in, I'm going to start the dance party goal, guys. All right, we're going light blue. All right, we'll go 45 minutes. All right, try to get a dance party. Let's go, baby. There it is. There it is. Goal started. We're gonna have to shake it off, dude. After this, we're seriously gonna have to shake it off because this guy is a creeper. So they get a search warrant. They go to his RV. They find a whole bunch of devices, and the victim, who is part of his congregation, is in the RV with him. Okay, the alleged victim stated that Jones was their pastor and that they recalled an event where they and the other juveniles went to Jones's house in 2023. Okay, the victim told Kale that Jones began communicating with them over the phone about being in a clandestine relationship with the alleged victim once they turned 18. So this person goes to the preacher's house with a group of other kids from the congregation, the safe zone, and what do you know? He starts contacting her via phone and setting it up. Now, this is grooming 101, setting it up so they can have a relationship, a secret one, when she turns 18. Dude, Pinky, let's go. It's so gnarly, guys. Like, this shit is so beyond gnarled. I mean, it's so offensive, boss. It really is. Like, that shit is so offensive. You know what I'm saying? Dude, like, what are these guys doing, bro? So brutal. And guys, you know Trump's buddy, Robert Morris, right? This guy who literally just got busted, okay? This guy, former Texas megachurch pastor, Robert Morris. This was Trump's spiritual advisor during his campaign. Dude, 𝗙ecie, what a creep. You know it. So this guy just got busted for what he did in the 80s. But guys, this guy did the same thing. Okay, this guy was a megachurch pastor, and he started hanging out at the house with the parents of the young girl he ended up like SAing. And so what happened was he started like preaching individually to their daughter, and the parents gave the pastor access to their daughter, right? They trusted him to be like an advisor and a spiritual helper for her. And he was like fucking, she was 12 years old. Okay. She was 12 years old, and he was fucking, it started with him staying with her, but she was 12 when it started. And for years, this guy was doing this, man. Dude, Amanda, or Armada, sorry, I read your name wrong. Thank you, Armada, let's go. Dude, isn't that crazy? Same deal, though, okay? So according to the complaint, Jones is the pastor of Summit Church, where the victim attends, making Jones a person of trust over the victim, right? And the alleged victim, so it is evident that Jones used a communication device to contact the victim to solicit, entice, seduce, or lure them into a clandestine relationship while he remained married and was a person of trust. Okay, so now, I mean, like, I think the one, if there's a highlight of this, guys, if there's like one good thing about this, because it's hard to find a good thing about this, but I think there's a couple of things here that are helpful in this instance that you don't get in a lot of these cases. One is they caught this guy before he started like having a physical relationship with the girl. Okay. So that is one that we know of, right? Maybe details will come out, but I'm pretty sure there wasn't a physical relationship yet. And it looks like he, the only actual like full nude sexualization of her that occurred was involved, at least that he had, images of, were AI. Okay. So it's possible that they got this guy early. You know what I'm saying? Because the reality is if they had not gotten this guy in another couple months, like who knows what would happen. But dude, this is so gnarly, bro. And again, guys, dude, sue me. Let's go. Appreciate you. Let's go. Thank you. But this is a Charlie Kirk pastor. This is what these guys do, man. Position of spiritual authority. Absolutely. Absolutely. And guys, this is so toxic too, because think about what happens to these young girls when they go to church, and not only is the minister like a trusted adult, the pastor is a sort of viewed as a noble figure, a trusted adult. This person is their conduit to their God, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like you have some kid that's being threatened with like burning in hell if they don't sort of obey the book, if they don't obey the religion, if they don't respect and revere their spiritual guides and their spiritual, foundations. And then the very person that is the conduit to that, the very person that is like the arbiter of that loving relationship with their deity is the one that is setting them up for abuse. It is so toxic. You know what I'm saying? It is so toxic. Like, and it's rampant, which the fact that it's so rampant really says a lot about what American Christianity is, right? That these guys, it's like a power game. You know what I'm saying? It is a power culture. It is a hierarchy of power and exploitation of power. You know what I mean? There's no other reason why this shit would continue to be happening if there wasn't an outrageous sort of power dynamic. I mean, that's what those sex crimes are. They are always crimes of power. They have nothing to do with the sex. You know what I'm saying? It is all about having so much power over the person that you can take their most private sort of aspects of themselves for yourself at will. It's like a capturing type of crime, and you're right. This guy does look a little bit like, if you saw this picture, you would think like, it's like he's doing a Cheddar Bob impression, right? Is this guy a preacher? Is this guy a rapper? Right? Is this right? You know what I mean? This guy looks like a shitty rapper who fucking, like shows up at the poetry slam with a Walkman and puts a microphone on the little Walkman speaker and starts thinking he's Eminem. Right? He does this a lot. Yo, what up? Yeah. Yo, hey. Right? Dude. But surprisingly, the one way this guy has set himself apart from all of his Republican cohorts is, to our knowledge, he doesn't have a Grindr profile. But yeah, isn't that wild? Dude, that shit is fucking wild, man. So he's in prison. All right. Dude, and what do we got here? Oh, shit. There we go. Dude, the AI pictures is not cool, right? Found multiple images of her when she was under 18, okay? Dude, there he is. Dude, diaper sniper. Dude, that's so gross, bro. What kind of phrase is that? You know what I'm saying? And dude, the diaper sniper, like, come on, bro. I never needed to see that phrase in this life, boss. Dude, I feel like I'm not gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? Just seeing that shit. But here we go. All right. Again, though, very important. Not a drag queen. Okay? Not a drag queen. So, yeah, so what it was, Melody, is so he had multiple photographs of her in her underwear, okay? So he had her in sort of enticing positions as a minor in her underwear, and then he had an AI deep fake naked of her as well. All of this was in his phone, and he had been setting up for 2 years. He had been culling a secret, communication with her, setting her up to have a clandestine relationship as soon as she turned 18. So I guess he wasn't going to have sex with her until she was 18, but he was like priming her. Meanwhile, having like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, dude, I don't understand the whole like married guy having those kinds of photos with someone in his congregation. Like, bro, think about how outrageous your ego has to be that way. Right, dude? Patrick, let's go, baby. You like the side-by-side photo? I know. Right? I mean, it's pretty arrogant. I mean, because, like, think about this, guys, okay? Think about the modern age where everybody has a cell phone, people are seeing you together, people, like, this is a town of 7,000 people, people talk, right? I mean, I grew up in a small town, okay, town of 3,000 people, everybody talked about everybody. Everybody was up in each other's business. So this guy is hanging out with a 16-year-old from his congregation. He's got pictures of her, many of them in her underwear and deep fake nudes in his phone. He's taken her to campsites in his RV. I mean, now that I mention it, there's probably a strong possibility that maybe they have hooked up yet and we don't even know about it, right? I mean, the fact that they're hanging out in the RV, we don't know. The investigation has just started. But imagine the gall of this, right? The fact that this guy he's so identifiable in the town that clearly everybody knows who he is. Dude, a pamper camper. Oh my God, dude, BJM. Let's go. Thank you, boss. No thank you for the pamper camper. Dude, right? But the nerve of him engaging in that type of behavior right under the nose of like everybody in his town. I don't know, dude. You know what it reminds me of, guys? It reminds me of the shit we talked about yesterday about that pastor who saw the girl in the leggings. And then he's like, if I hadn't been with my family, I would have gone and like shamed her. Like their arrogance, like this guy is so arrogant that he is engaged in this outrageous behavior right out in the open. And he just believes that he is like above reproach or above being caught doing it, and that arrogance and that sense of entitlement exactly is something we're seeing more and more with these religious figures, right? It is outrageous arrogance. Now, obviously, you have to be pretty arrogant for you to stand up to people who don't believe in your religion and to sort of claim ownership over their morality. I mean, that's pretty arrogant, right? It is. When you think about it, they come in and they're like, oh, I'll pray for you. Oh, I'm praying for you. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry I'm taking your rights away, but I'm like working with Jesus over here. I mean, their arrogance is already like outrageously like off the charts. Okay. These people are the most arrogant and an entitled group that you've ever seen, you know? You know what I mean? Like, dude, it's pretty crazy. And yeah, dude, and Jesus would absolutely would have nothing to do with them. I mean, this harkens to something from today, guys. Okay, you ready? Like, look at this. This was from earlier today where it was Benny Johnson. Okay, now look at this. Watch this, bro. This clip, okay? Talk about Christians. Look at this. This is Benny Johnson saying this may be the single funniest moment in the history of live TV. Benny, the Christian, is really selling it. Watch. And he says, our country is healing. But like, watch the clip that Benny thinks is the single most like funniest thing on TV. You ready? Watch this.
What are you going to be for Halloween?
So my whole family is doing Scooby-Doo. My son's going to be Scooby-Doo. I'm Shaggy. So I'm going to kind of dress like you. Big baggy clothes, I got long hair. I'm just going to have a little flask while I walk around. There you go. Undercover brother.
Guess what I'm going to be?
What?
Guess what I'm going to be?
Fauci?
A retard. A retard.
Okay. I guess you can be anything for
Greatest
Halloween.
costume ever.
All right, kid, I'll see you out there. Trick or treat.
Okay, so let's process this. I mean, first off, dude, OpenAI is going to allow generative deepfakes. Dropped an article and react on stream. It's pretty gross. Dude, spin me. We will look at it. Thank you for that. Dude, yeah, that's got to be a big no-no. But now, dude, let's process this, guys. Because Fox News, you have a guy he's wearing a Jesus hat, okay? Benny Johnson, the Christian, is thinking it's hilarious that the guy wearing the Jesus hat said, put a mask on and said, I'm going as an R slur. So he used a slur for the disabled in his Jesus hat to make fun of people who were careful during a pandemic when 7 million people died, guys. 7 million people died. So what I said was, Benny the Christian cheering another fake Christian on TV using a slur against the disabled to poke fun of people who masked up to help prevent some of the 7 million worldwide COVID deaths. Like, God would be so proud, right? I mean, this is how Jesus would behave, wouldn't he? Wouldn't he? If Jesus was on earth right now, he'd be like wearing his merch while he slurred the disabled and made fun of people who like perhaps lost loved ones in a right? Like, bro, what is fucking wrong with these people? Dude, Martine, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, you like that? Wearing his merch? Yeah, Jesus busting out his merch? Oh, shit. Dude, that's a good one, isn't it? But this is crazy, guys. You know, this is like the Christians. These are America's Christians, guys. How? How did we get here to where Christians are like using slurs for the most vulnerable people among us in their Christian regalia, and then they're laughing about people dying or people like trying to make sure their loved ones don't die? Bro, I mean, isn't that astonishing, right? Isn't that astonishing? They can say it on TV. I guess they can, Miss Bonnie. It's like, it's back. It is in vogue, bro. And I know, Canal, I mean, I want to believe, right, that this has nothing to do with actual Christianity. But guys, here's the problem. The problem is if we go to Missouri, right, the elected leaders in Missouri are guys that are like this. They're using the slurs, they're denigrating Jesus, they're harming people, and they're being this toxic, controlly, entitled, fake Christian. All the leaders in Missouri are. But all of the millions of people who live in Missouri, who supposedly are like good Christians, are all voting for those terrible people. So, like, I honestly don't know who the good Christians are, you know, except maybe if there's some Christians that are Democrats that are voting against them. But the majority of Christians in America are supporting these people. They're, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? They are supporting these fucking people. I actually believe wearing a face mask. Yeah, dude. I mean, wearing a face mask helps there, Dars. It does. I mean, go to any Asian country during the winter and you'll see everybody wearing face masks there, and they have a pronounced lack of communicable diseases, boss. It's just factual, boss. It's not like 100% guaranteed, but it absolutely improves your chances of getting that fucking disease or any other airborne fucking like cold like that, right? You could be around somebody who has bronchitis, and if you wear a mask, it's going to reduce your chances of getting bronchitis. I mean, dude, Japan, China, they've been doing this for fucking 30 years. You know what I'm saying? It's not rocket science. Americans are just the only people that are stupid and sociopathic enough to be like, oh, shit kicker. Oh, I'm so fucking smart. I'm going to vote for a rapist who's going to make everything more expensive and stick a Bible up my ass. Right? Dude. Right? You know? It's like, it's so funny, bro. Everyone's like, oh, masking. Like, dude, go to Japan, right? Yeah. Dude. Oh my God. You were talking about smelling farts. I'm sorry. Bye-bye. Bro. Yeah. Dude. He doesn't understand the difference between methane gas, okay? Smelling methane gas and like, dude, what a dumb shit. I mean, because I'm just going to entertain this. Methane is a gas, right? So smelling a gas like methane or nitrogen or whatever, right? You can't smell nitrogen, but if nitrogen had a smell, or smelling the gas from your natural gas line, yes, you're going to smell that through a fucking fabric. But getting sick involves getting moisture droplets, right? It's not an aroma. It's not a smell. It's like moisture droplets. And yes, if you put a mask on and splash like faint mist of water on that mask, none of that water is going to get in your mouth there. All right. For the dumb shits among us that never took a fucking science class. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, why do when I go out in the rain, I hold an umbrella over my head, I don't get wet? Oh, but when I fart, I can smell it. Jesus Christ, dude. Now we know why we have Trump. Because people didn't take a fucking 6th grade science class. You know? Jesus. But, all right, at least we cleared that up. Holy shit, bro. Dude. Yeah. Bye-bye. Oh, my God, dude. But again, though, guys, in addition to the issue of Christianity, we have an American problem. We have a stupidity problem, guys, in America, right? We do. It's pretty obvious, right? Just take a small trip through Maga and you will find that we have a stupidity problem. That's a rough one, bro. It is a rough one. And I mean, this is why everybody in Europe is outperforming us. And you know what's crazy about this, guys? You ready? This is what's amazing. So check this out. Even in gaming, okay, I was a gamer, all right? In the early 2020s, right, during the pandemic, I was a famous Fortnite streamer, okay? Now, what's funny about it is if you looked at the American Fortnite players and the European Fortnite players, the European players were like way better than the Americans on average. Like, it was frightening how much better the European players were. And why? Because they have access to healthcare from little on, because their education system is higher funded, because they learn multiple languages of learning the languages of their neighbors. Okay? Their food has less processed chemicals. Okay? They're like, it's insane how much better like they perform, okay, than Americans. Even by 16, these European gamers are playing at such a higher level than the Americans. And it comes down to like healthcare and education and learning languages. And, you know, they just exercise their brains a lot more than Americans do. And it's wild because Americans are the ones that carry this idea of like exceptionalism, you know? Dude, it's crazy. Dude, thank you, 𝗙liche. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's crazy the difference. Because ultimately, guys, you know, in intelligence, like varies, like your intelligence potential varies. Okay? There are some people that have a lot bigger, you know, can go a lot further intelligence-wise. They may have higher IQs. But a lot of the brain is like exercising like any other part, right? You learn a language or two and it's doing this. You learn how to play a musical instrument. It's doing this. You fucking do art. You're doing this. You read, right? Tactile reading. You're doing this. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's like, it's fucking, you know what I'm saying? Dude, there's so much. I mean, doing critical thinking, like simply doing math instead of just grabbing a calculator is doing this, right? You know, writing, all of that shit exercises you. You know what I mean? And dude, yeah, no, I know we're behind Canal. I mean, most people know that America's like terrifically behind. I mean, it started for us, guys. It started for us in the 80s, right? When we started defunding schools. And yeah, 𝗙liche brings up a really good point that I think we should like look at 𝗙she's point too, is how masks protect other people. Like, yes, that is like the hugest thing, that if you are sick and you're wearing a mask, you're making it so you're not going to get other people sick, right? It really helps even more that way, keeping your own shit in, you know, for sure. It's like huge. I mean, when I got COVID, I wore a mask in the house so Jenny wouldn't have to worry about getting COVID. And in fact, with me wearing a mask, she felt safer. You know what I'm saying? She felt more comfortable. She wasn't worried about like every time I fucking breathe that I'm spitting COVID out into our shared living space. You know, America's experiencing brain drain. We certainly are, 𝗙liche. But dude, a lot of this shit, okay? A lot of this shit started in the 80s. In America, I mean, it started under Reagan. We started defunding education and funding policing in a very severe way, right? And then what sort of happened, you know, later in the late 90s is one of the problems with American education is how much of the money goes to the administrative side, right? That like our education is like politics now, okay? School funding is like a political thing where you're dealing with property taxes, you're dealing with maybe extra taxes, you know, some type of value added or arts tax or whatever they have in your locale. So now the principals are like political figures that are now interfacing with the school superintendents, and they're negotiating budgets and trying to get more from the tax money. And then, you know, it becomes like getting money raised from parents and shit. And so now a lot of money has gone into the administrators because principals are more like politicians than they are like teachers anymore, right? They're like principals' job is less about managing the education and more about managing the money. I mean, if you talk to principals or you look at the job of a modern school principal, they're basically politicians that fucking get funding, okay? And the successful ones are the ones that get funding, that make that money show up, you know? It's fucking crazy. Dude, I tell you what though, guys. You ready? Hold on, you ready though, guys? Check this out. Because those guys who didn't like masks during COVID, they sure seem to like masks now, dude. Right? Isn't that interesting? Like, boy, do they like masks now, boss. Look at these guys. They love their masks. Holy shit, boss. Look at that. Right? If 7 million people are dying, they won't wear one. But boy, will they fucking wear some masks when they're doing this job. Isn't that interesting? Huh. Weird. Right? Isn't it weird how they wouldn't wear masks? You know what I'm saying? Isn't it weird how they wouldn't wear masks during fucking when millions of people were dying, but they will wear masks when they're trying to hide being the Gestapo? It's funny, isn't it? Dude, right? Dude, this is crazy though. We'll have to watch this. I don't know if we're going to watch this tonight, but this little, I don't know if you've seen this video, but this video is pretty crazy, dude. It's like an off-duty cop who fucking goes off on ice and he really nails it. But yeah, man, dude, pretty wild, boss. All right. Woo! You can't tell me not to wear a mask? Dude, I know, isn't it funny? Dude, good point, right? That during the pandemic, they were going to the Supreme Court saying, you can't make me wear a mask. And now that they're like, you know, harassing immigrants in the streets, they're like, you can't force me to take my mask off. Dude, it's like, what are we doing, bro? You know? Dude, like, yes, always moving the goalposts. Dude, they are like running the goalposts. Like, oh, dude, they are so wild, bro. Oh my God. Now, there's one thing, guys. Okay, when I look back at the pandemic, there's only one thing that was like understandable for them to view as a problem. Okay, there was one issue with masks, and it was the kids in like K through second grade. Okay, children that were K through second grade that went to school wearing masks were missing watching people speak. Okay, and humans learn by visual cues. So when you're a kindergartner, you watch your mom and dad talk, you watch your teacher talk, you watch your students talk, you watch the adults talk, and watching people talk helps you learn how to speak clearly. Okay, so if you have toddlers or like really little kids in preschool that were covering their face, that was a definite issue. However, guys, there's no reason the parents couldn't let them watch Sesame Street, right? You could watch media of people talking. The parents could talk to the kids a lot more at home, read to them for an extra hour every day or what have you, right? You simply had to invest into making up that thing. But it was like everybody was going through it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was like going through it, worldwide. We weren't the only people that were wearing masks, And again, though, I think it's better to have a little bit of a, slower onset with some of this shit than to be dead. You know what I'm saying? I mean, or have your grandparents be dead and shit, So I think it was a net, positive, right? Because, I mean, still 7 million people died, most in the early part. But imagine like how many people would have died if there had been no vaccine and no masking, right? Imagine how bad it could have been, dude. That could have been like 20 million people, man. That's insane. But I mean, everybody knew, like we all knew that face coverings for the kids was problematic. I mean, we knew. I mean, dude, it's, or maybe we didn't. I think it's common knowledge, but maybe some people don't. Dude, woke Sesame Street. Dude, I will tell you guys, I watched Sesame Street religiously when I was a kid. Dude, and it's so good, though. I'm so glad I did. Like, so much of my compassion, my appreciation for urban environments, that may very well be where my love of New York City started. Because if you look at the way Sesame Street was when I was a kid, it was all about like neighbors sitting out on a stoop and enjoying each other's company and shit. And that like local community, that stoop, that New York City stoop like living. And dude, I grew up watching that. Super diverse, right? Super like, paying attention to people's feelings and making space for people, learning how to hold space. And yeah, dude, I absolutely learned like my spelling and my literary skills were like so high. Like I was so far advanced from people, I mean, I learned how to read and speak very good long before I went to school. I mean, it was helpful that I had, 6 siblings, all older. So I was engaged in an oral communication fucking way, like a lot more than some kids were, because I was in a big family. But dude, yeah, fucking Sesame Street was amazing, bro. Dude, you've seen my Grover shirt, right? You've seen it, right? But man, dude. Dude, Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers, yeah, those were both good. I also, Captain Kangaroo was another one, right? That was another show that and the Electric Company. Hey, you guys! Dude, oh, it was amazing. Dude, let's go, strangers! Let's go. All right, guys. Is that number 12? Let's go. All right, guys, we have 7 minutes, 3 more to confirm that dance party. Let's go, baby. Sesame Street is awful now. Same liberal values, but just not the same. Yeah, so Joe, I mean, it's hard though. Here's what I want to say though, is it's hard. I'm sure it's awful if you grew up watching a different Sesame Street, but I guarantee you that what young people watch now, they look back at our version of Sesame Street and think it's awful. Right? I think some of that is a generational thing because Sesame Street is written from a different generational tilt. So I'm sure compared to ours, it's like, wow, this is stupid and ridiculous. But I know that every time I take the shit that my son is, the shit that my son grew up on, and I look at it and it doesn't make sense to me, I show him, well, let me show you how it was when I was a kid. And he's like, dude, that is dog shit. Like the stuff you had to watch when you were a kid. He's like, it's dog shit. Like, you don't know. And I'm like, all right. I mean, it's funny, dude. They're so different, right? Like generationally, we're so different. I haven't watched it recently, though. I'll have to sit down and fucking watch it and see what it's like. You know, I haven't watched it in forever. Dude, I'll have to explore it, right? I will. But I know that, like, I watch the shit I used to watch as a kid now, and it seems pretty dated, you know? You say dude more? Good. Good. Dude is a good word. I love it. I love the word dude. You know what's wild about it? So a lot of young people now like to watch Teletubbies, right? Dude, have you ever watched Teletubbies? Like, don't take psychedelics before you do it, guys, or you may never come back. But the young people watch Teletubbies, and I watch it, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck is this, dude? Right? And they're like, this is amazing. The young kids. Dude, you're like, wow, we are changing, bro. Dude, that shit is wild. Dude, we had Fraggle Rock. Yeah, I remember Fraggle Rock. So, Snow, Fraggle Rock was a little out of my generation. Like, Fraggle Rock is like Jenny's generation. She was big on Fraggle Rock. We had Fraggle Rock, but it was on. But by then, I was a teenager. And so I was fucking... Dude, did they take Teletubbies off the air? Is it really gone? All right. That may be a good thing. That may be a net positive. Dude, Karen, let's dance for those who can't. Let's go. Love the sentiment. Here's what I will say, though, guys. I'm going to go out on a limb right now, guys. You ready? I'm saying this. I have said this for the last 10 years, okay? The downfall of civilization, the dumbing down of our modern society, and the downfall of civilization started with one thing, guys. Reality TV. Reality TV, guys, has caused the degradation of our society in profound ways. And let me just tell you why reality TV. And it started before Trump. Trump is like the end of this. But you know why, guys? Because shows used to be like written, and they had stories and morals and fucking questions, and the entire social aspect of relating to entertainment was to learn something about yourself and others. Okay? And now, right? Now what it is with reality TV, it became about ratcheting up the drama, okay? It's no longer important what you're saying. It's no longer important how you're saying it. It's no longer important to be questioning who you are and what you're doing or what the world is doing. Now, the only thing that's important is how much of a scene did you make? Did you create a huge scene? Did you cause a lot of so much chaos that everybody paid attention? Like before, entertainment used to be about message, and now entertainment is about initiating reaction. Okay? And that's what reality TV did. Is reality TV stopped the message-based society and created instigation-based society, where it's like now society is about seeking reactions. And it's invaded our politics. It's invaded our influencer culture. It's invaded our, like speaking out, our protest culture. It's invaded our social media culture, where now the thing that's much more important is instigating a reaction and creating some type of impact, as opposed to communicating a message. And that's been a profound difference, okay? Because like when your goal is to communicate a message, you have to be thoughtful. You have to even if you're out there winging it, you still have to be thoughtful, and you have to pay attention to the stimuli you get back, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I communicate a message, I get a stimuli back. Wait, my message isn't getting through. So I change my message, I communicate it again. Okay, you're understanding me. There's like a relationship between the creator and the person who's receiving the content. But in instigation based, it's like, did I get a reaction? And if I get a reaction, good, I got a reaction, but you're never processing the reaction, and the reaction doesn't have any impact on the message of your comment or your content. You know what I'm saying? So you're not even, right? You're not even generating, you're not even communicating anymore. Okay? You are simply, dude, let's go. Oh shit, we have 1 minute, guys. Oh my God, we need one more 45 seconds to get this dance party. Let's go, Katie Mullins. Let's go. Glad to be able to watch you live. I'm glad you're here. That's a big one. 30 seconds. One more for dance party. We're going to get this. I'm going to wait it out. I'm going to wait it out. Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, shit. Oh, that's a sticker, Toku. Oh, 18 seconds. We do need a super chat. Oh, there. Oh, that's a sticker too. Sarah, 10 seconds. Oh, no. It's super chats only. Oh, there it is, Pinky. Oh, under the wire. Oh, let's go. Oh, shit. Dude, that sticker versus super chat shit. That shit makes me fucking freak out. Dude, Summy, let's go. Oh, dude, thank you for those stickers, though. Dude, I love the stickers. The pairs are amazing, dude. The hey pair and the ha pair. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Strange. Appreciate you. Let's go. That was clutch, dude. Down to the wire. All right, dance party is intact. But so, guys, I really think I can't say enough that reality TV, in addition to it valuing drama over substance, what reality TV did is it made it so content generation is no longer a communication. Okay? It's not a communication now. It's like it is a one-sided reaction-based affair. Content creation is. And prior to that, when there was message-based entertainment, message-based content, there was more communication that happened, you know, because you were trying to get a message across, so you had to process how people were reacting to the message. And you're right, yeah, Evil Gay's great way of putting it. Reacting doesn't require thinking as well. You're right. There's not even thinking in the reacting. There's just a surge of energy. Dude, Willem, let's go with another pair. Dude, Squalus, best dono animation you've ever seen, by the way. Let's go, Squalus. Dude, we love it. All right, there it is. Dude, and since we made Dance Party, we're going to do a Trump one, too. Oh, right. And we had a troll tonight that has been coming back in on multiple accounts and keeps getting blocked. So we're going to give one of those for the old troll. Go ahead. I don't care. 200 YouTube accounts. I can hit hide from chat 200 times. I don't mind. Dude, I was a Fortnite streamer, bro. I'll erase people like all day long, dude. You have no idea how determined I am in that vein. Dude, I still have kids like creating bot accounts or burner accounts to come and send me fucking slur-laden DMs. Fortnite kids who are so mad that I quit their community. Dude, it's funny. I mean, hey, if that's like what you fucking got, right? If that's what you got on your time, dude, right? You know what I mean? Dude, there it is. Let's go. Adios. Didn't even get read, dude. What a waste of time. You compose something, you fucking cut and paste it a dozen times and nobody even reads it. Like, talk about screaming into the void. All right. You know what I mean? Screaming into the void, boss. How dare I quit Fortnite? Yeah, James. It's all right. All right. Good night, Sumi. Thank you. Dude. But anyway, so yeah, man, reality TV, boss. I feel like that really is the downfall. You know? You know what I'm saying? That is the big downfall, guys. It is. But what I'm going to do now too is I'm going to engage the top chat for a minute. Okay. So don't worry about that, guys. You may not see your chats for a little while, but top chat makes it so the burner account people now they can't even, like, their shit can't even get through. Right. And so that'll just shut them down for a while. So now they can go fucking ham out. They can go ham. Right? Dude, yeah. No, I want to watch. Well, there's two things I want to cover. We got to watch Candace Owens, okay? Because Candace flipped. Dude, Elf, what's up? Candace has flipped a lid, okay? Now, dude, today, it is my understanding, we got to go see this, but today, I think she actually said that Elon Musk and Peter Thiel and Sam Altman from OpenAI, she said that they're not humans, that they are, in fact, like robot people. Right? Isn't that funny? Dude, she said they, like, don't bleed, guys. Like, no joke. No joke, dude. This I gotta see, boss. All right? Oh, wait. Dude, what are we doing? Where is it? Dude, Peter Thiel made from recycled plastic. Oh, shit, dude. Dude, Candace Owens now said Trump killed Charlie Kirk. All right, here's what we're talking about. So what video is this from? Because it's not in her live video. All right, her last live video was 2 weeks ago. It's not in her shorts. I'm intrigued now. I guess maybe she was going on fucking is that old news about the Trump thing? The Trump call that where she said that she believes Trump had Charlie Kirk killed. Can somebody get me a link to that? Right? I want to find a link to the source material. Is it on her Twitter? I feel like we should find that too. All right. But dude, she is flipping out. Okay. Dude, she was talking about people in tunnels killing Kirks. So I did see a little bit of her thing about the tunnels. Remember the hatch? Did you guys see that? Did you guys see the hatch? Right there, it's the Charlie Kirk hatch, right? It is this thing, right? Right? Did you guys see this? Hold on, let me go to Facebook here. There we go. Okay. So it was this thing that there was like, this is where Charlie's tent was, okay? And there was this fucking pop-up hatch that went to, you know, I presume, okay? I presume that this was about their you know, HVAC system, okay? Like, You know what I'm saying? So the thing is I don't think anything happened from this, but she was like freaking out about it. Now schools, they do have maintenance tunnels. Okay. They absolutely do. At UCLA, guys, when I was in a fraternity, UCLA had a section of deep underground tunnels where all the HVAC did that went into the buildings, like Royce Hall and the UCLA library and shit. We used to go down there, okay? When I was in the fraternity, we would get drunk, and there was a way that you went into the maintenance thing off one of the loading docks, and there was a way to get into the underground part, and we used to go, right? We used to go to the fucking, we called it hell, and you go in there, and you could go all around campus. You could pop up. We would go into Royce Hall at like 3 a.m, and walk around inside the building. Of course, if we had gotten caught, you would have been expelled and shit, but they didn't have like motion sensor alarms or anything in the 80s, and we didn't fuck with anything, okay? We just literally went in there, and sometimes we had pledge things where, we would go down there with alcohol and make people do push-ups because it was really fucking hot by where the hot, like during the winter, the things that took heat, the heating pipes would get super hot in the hot water and shit. So there are things down there under these universities, but yeah, well, the thing about this though is how this had nothing to do with Charlie Kirk getting shot. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? This had nothing to do with fucking Charlie Kirk getting blown away, I mean, sure, there was a tunnel hatch there. Like, so what? I mean, if that had popped open or been open or whatever, like, obviously we would have seen it. You're not going to be able to hide this fucking tunnel. You know what I'm saying? And again, though, like, this is part of our economy of reactions, guys. Okay. Right. Our attention span is shorter, right? If we entertain 50 fucking, 50 whatever, if we entertain 50 conspiracy theories, we can linger longer, paving over the area so quickly is weird. I mean, yes, and no. Okay. Like, I think the paving over the area is like, I look at it like this, okay? So one of the things is once they've collected all the evidence that they need from this crime scene, I think they've moved on. Like, for example, I don't know if you guys remember, but we talked about this a couple weeks ago, and I used O.J. Simpson as an example, and how O.J. Simpson, the coroners and the fucking murder investigators and the CSI team were there for like weeks, right? But Nicole Simpson's murder had 2 victims in 2 different locations with blood spatters, and they were trying to figure out the weapons, and they were collecting associated stuff to try and process, how did this thing happen? What was the timeline? How did these people get killed? There's blood everywhere, right? Because it was like knife wounds and shit. And it was a very complicated scene. And I mean, this was more like you had one guy who got shot, and then they did tape it off. And the crime scene was taped off, Donna. It did get taped off, and it did get processed. Okay, it did happen. But then as soon as that was done, I think they wanted to get rid of it because of the students, right? Because if they left the scene here, it was going to be a focal point for everybody at the college. I think their paving over it was to try and just make the trauma sort of disappear in the way that people who don't really do trauma work do, right? Like, oh, let's paint over it. Oh yeah, there's a huge blood spatter on that wall. Let's just fucking paint over it. and try to make it go away. But maybe it was part of a larger cover-up. I mean, we don't know. I mean, we certainly know they're milking it. We certainly know that the TPUSA people are milking this. Charlie Kirk is a fucking cash register now. Like, that's all he is to these people. But Wendy, did you find that thing about the Trump thing? Right? Dude. Where was the blood? I think the blood was wherever it poured out of Charlie's neck down here. Oh, did you send a few leaks? All right. In Discord? Ooh, we have a Why I Left Maga video too. Where did you send it? Dude, Wendy is like shadow prime minister. Oh, it's in Discord? All right. What channel is it in Discord? Because I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Candace Owens. All right, there it is. Perfect. Okay. From OK Magazine. All right, great. Oh, dude. And beautiful. Thank you, Wendy. All right. So, do you think any of us will get invited to the ballroom? I do not. And in fact, though, 5 p.m. is dude, I'm curious about the ballroom, guys, because I was just thinking, why is it $300 million for one room, bro? I'm sure that there is a fucking a bunker of some sort going on there. I mean, there's gotta be, right? There's no way 300 million for just one building like that. It's just not possible, bro. People have built like large commercial buildings for 300 million. You know what I'm saying? You can build an entire city block of like commercial building, fully, outfitted for restaurants and a hotel. You could build a fucking hotel, an entire hotel for 300 million. There's no way that construction is just for a ballroom with tables. There's no fucking way, bro. There's no fucking way. You know what I'm saying? There's no way, dude. Not a chance, boss. All right, so let's look at this Candace real quick. Because, dude, Candace is she is going off the deep end. Okay? So here she's saying she does not believe Elon Musk, Sam Altman, and Peter Thiel are humans. She says that they are hybrids, guys. Okay? She's saying that she's using the religion again and saying, hey, guys, I am detecting a deep demonic presence, and they are transhumans that are going to use AI. I mean, guys, this is a fucking stretch here. Now, she has 5 million followers, guys. 5 million subscribers on YouTube. So there's definitely some people paying attention to her. You know what I mean? Like they are definitely paying attention to her, boss. You know? You know what I mean? They are fucking, like, to me, that's a little scary, isn't it? You know? All right, let's see what we got.
I'm telling you, I don't even think these people are human. Like, I look at Elon Musk and Sam Altman and Peter Thiel, and I'm pretty sure they're hybrid. You know what I mean? Like they just look like an Apple software that I should be able to download at night, you know, like my phone's getting an update or something. It's something in the eyes. Like, I don't know. I'm like, I know I'm human, but I don't know if I stabbed you, if you bleed, you know, I'm not going to stab them, but I don't know if they bleed all the way. I think a battery would fall out. You know what I mean? And I just get that sense. I've always known it was demonic, and people just get on board because, as we talked about in this book, they are using science and this idea of technology and this idea of transforming society for the better to indoctrinate us into accepting this. And it's wrong and it's backwards. And the main component of all of this is psychology, right?
See, here's the thing that's a little interesting about this, right? Is because she's saying it in a sort of offhand way, okay? Like, right? Like, I mean, she didn't do that like it was a Dateline report, like the science of it, but she said it in sort of an offhand conversational way of like, wow, they're just so fucked up that I think if you stabbed them, they wouldn't bleed, the eyes and all this. But here's the problem, guys, is like she's been breeding conspiracy thought and conspiracy theory with the people in her like fan base for years. Okay. She has cultivated that 4chan, that kind of like QAnon style, everything is through the lens of a conspiracy theory, a deep state theory, right? And kind of fused a little bit with religion. So, I mean, when you start making those crazy offhand comments like that, it's feeding those people that are really out there, okay? They're really out there. Now, of course, when you look at these guys, I mean, she's not wrong that these guys are maladjusted, okay? I mean, it's the same with Zuckerberg. These guys don't interact with humans in the same way that we do, right? When you look at Elon, when you look at Peter Thiel, you look at Sam Altman, like same with Mark Zuckerberg. They were like coders. They were people that were buried in computers, but they're also people that have so much power that they don't interact with real humans in a give and take way. They were literally sitting in an ivory tower talking while people like follow them around and carry out their every fucking plan, right? They live lives where they are so detached from reality that it's kind of the same thing you get sometimes with politicians, right? Even with like Donald Trump, okay? You look at him and that guy can't have a normal conversation because he doesn't have a normal conversation. He just rants and raves and people follow around and like, you know, fucking kiss his feet all day. So when Donald Trump opens his mouth, he looks like a goddamn idiot because he's never communicating with purpose, because he doesn't ever communicate with purpose. He lives in a world where he just rambles and people kiss his feet. That's it. And these guys, I don't even know what their world is like. Like, what do they even do, right? Elon gets high on ketamine and tweets like 400 times a day. Like, they don't even do shit. You know what I'm saying? These guys, like, I have a feeling that these guys just literally sit around like consuming like, you know, Curtis fucking, what's that guy's name? Curtis fucknuts. What is that guy? Yarvin, right? They're sitting around like doing ayahuasca journeys or some shit and reading code and reading Curtis Yarvin and probably listening to podcasts from fucking, you know, like recordings from some obscure tech speaker that's speaking in Malaysia or some shit. Like, what do they even do with their days, bro? You know, I mean, and their eyes are warped because I think they just don't have normal, like they don't have genuine human interactions. You know, they don't. They're like maladjusted, man. They are for sure. And the drugs, who knows how much like Adderall they're doing or other shit with these guys. Like, I wonder, you know what I wonder about these guys? I wonder how much like porn they consume. Okay. I really do, because I know that they're dopamine freaks. All right. I know I wonder how much adult content these guys consume because of the sheer dopamine freakery, okay? And I bet they sit around and they play video games. You know, Elon plays a lot of video games, right? There's a lot of dopamine fucking, you know what I mean? I mean, let me just tell you, as somebody myself, right, of who's a creative individual, but I'm like a dopamine junkie, okay? I am. That's why I got hooked on uppers and certain styles of drugs and engaged in a lot of like sexual behavior, was because of the dopamine rush that I've been sort of addicted to. And that's why I got super into Fortnite and those like overwhelming video games. I'm a huge dopamine freak, okay? And dude, my creative impulse has always been tied to adult content, you know, as an adult, right? It's like my libido and my creativity are like fused together. They're like one and the same. The more creative I am, the more active my libido gets. It's like really weird. I mean, I think it's like they're both creative types of creative energy, right? And I wonder with these guys too, how they relate to that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like, you know, like Elon, Elon is just a fucking hub freak. You just know. You know what I'm saying? Dude, meds killed your libido and you're fine with that? God, dude. Dude, I took some meds once that killed my libido and I was like, dude, I'm done with these meds. I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh, shit. Right? Oh, let's go. But fucking A, boss. I mean, dude, some people, though, if it's like harmful, there were times, though, guys, when that shit was harmful for me. Okay? When I first got sober, dude, let me just tell you, when I first got sober, I had a real problem with the dopamine and the adult content. It was hard. Like, that was a primary area where when I first got sober and before I really got into AA, or right before I got into AA, where I was not drinking or doing drugs, but I was consuming hours of adult content every day just to maintain like drug and alcohol sobriety. And it became untenable, you know? And then I had a girlfriend that was a nurse who worked nights, and I'd be like, oh, I'm going to work on my album. And then I would consume adult content all night until she got home. And then she would get home and I am just like fucking humming, right? And she was like, dude, you need to figure some shit out. Like, I'm getting off work and you are like, you're vibrating, dude. It's just too much, right? It was crazy, dude. You know? And so like when I look at these guys, I feel like these guys, they do that with much of their day. They present that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude. Yeah. Dude, egoistic. That's pretty wild to think about. But yeah, man. So, I mean, so she's not wrong that like these guys are, you know, are very detached from the human experience, especially if you're an AI engineer, very detached from the human experience. I mean, dude, do you guys know any computer programmers? I don't know if you know any, but I knew a lot of guys who were computer programmers, and like, guys, they were the most socially like maladjusted people I ever knew because they spend so much time alone, man. They were like constantly in code, right? They communicated with code like for hours, days, months on end. And so their social skills were just gone. Okay. Same in the film industry. Okay. Like a lot of the guys who did special effects were that way. They were in dark rooms like 16 hours a day, you know, in After Effects or Nuke. And then, dude, they come up for air like every couple weeks and they're just not super well adjusted. You know what I mean? I think it's just hard with the job. It's not even like it's them. It's the job that like, I think it fucks you up a little bit. You know, it fucks you up a little bit. I mean, guys, dude, I get it here. I get it as a streamer, right? Where you know what happens is as a streamer, I'm talking. I'm like, yada, 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 just running my mouth. It's like a nonstop stream of consciousness. And then when I go out socially, I have to be very aware to not swallow up the whole room, right? If I go have lunch with a friend of mine who, like, I have a friend who runs a book, like a book resale company, right? He's like a book retailer. And when he and I hang out, dude, his job does not have a lot of conversation. I have to like put the brakes on myself because I am so used to just chewing up all the scenery. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm out socially, I have to pay extra amount of time to be like, okay, I'm listening, right? You know what I mean? It's like, dude, you gotta, I don't know, dude. I think these guys have no regular human interaction whatsoever. Like these guys these three never have an interaction where they're not like the overlord dealing with an underling, right? You know what I'm saying? Think about that. These guys are never the underling, ever, you know?
Right? They're able to do it because of psychology, making you think that society has gotten better. Our kids have objectively gotten dumber. We've become fatter. We've become less healthy. We've become less emotionally sound. And yet they are convincing us that this is like humanity's great leap forward.
See, I take issue with this, guys. I do. I take issue with this because there are some things that are truth, like some of America has definitely gotten heavier. And some of America has gotten like less physically fit. There's absolutely that, right? However, I don't think we've actually gotten emotionally worse, guys. I don't, because if you roll back to the 1950s, they were like burning crosses on people's lawns. There were lynchings and shit. There was segregation at the lunch counters, and everybody ignored it. In the 40s and the 50s. And everybody knew it was wrong. They knew it was toxic, but people just stayed silent. People just let people die right around them emotionally and spiritually, and they said nothing. And we may be like, have some toxic internet shit, but we have definitely progressed. Even since I was a kid. There's a lot more compassion. Like my kid grew up in a world that was way less bullying than the world I grew up in. Way more compassion, way more acceptance of a wide variety of people. Openness to where people who had autism or were different genders were accepted and appreciated. There's way more awareness. Like my kid's brain, he can process 20 things at once. Okay, his brain is so advanced that he can take in like 10 different information streams at one time and categorize them and process them and take it all in. It's astonishing how fast and nimble his fucking brain is. It's wild. Now, there's downsides of that exposure that, you know, they've encountered a different type of anxiety and they have a different type of burnout. Okay, than we did. But every generation experiences burnout and overload and shit like that because there's always new technology. But I feel like the children of today, the young people today, are far more advanced than the young people were in my day. Like in my day, I was, you know, one of the, you know, when I was in school, I was like one of the top intellectual tiers as far as like performance and information processing and shit compared to other kids my age. And I feel like the young people these days, like all of them are able to process information the way I did, you know, and that's become like average now. Now, you know, there's a different attitude towards scholastics. So they're learning different shit, right? Like we learned, you know, I learned algebra. And they don't need to learn algebra because, you know, if you're not an engineer or whatever, it's not a necessary thing, right? They're learning like, you know, media literacy. They're learning, you know, fucking, you know, types of, you know, like, I don't know, political and philosophical thought. They're learning how to navigate using AI. You know, every new AI interface, they can just drop into it and you know, break it apart and shit. You know what I'm saying? They're learning different things. You know, they need different skills. Like, you know, we didn't need algebra. See, what's interesting about it though, Sam, is algebra, I think, is one of the like skills that people don't pay attention to, right? Because the thing about algebra, that why I think it's so important and why being good at algebra really helps you in life is because algebra is about logical order of things, okay? So the actual act of doing algebra you don't need it. You don't need to do that with numbers. But algebra lets you logically break down any task, okay? If you learn how to do an algebraic equation and how to plug things into algebraic equations, you have learned a skill of being able to process what an equation looks like, when to use it, and then you plug shit into the equation. And then you factor it down until you're left with the smallest sum of its parts. And that can teach you how to do a really huge task and break it down. You can look at complex relationships and plug them into equations of like response and shit. Like, it really helps your logical thinking of being able to process step by step breaking down of like any information you take in, because everything's kind of an equation, you know, when you think about it. But I bet coding is probably really similar, right? Coding is similar because you have those logical, right, modifiers, right? The coding does it too. Anything that uses like nested logic, right? Anywhere where there's nested logic is super helpful to your brain of being able to process complex tasks of any kind, right? But it's got to be nested logic, right? It has to be, right? It's like the nested stuff is what's really helpful, is being able to, I think, nested things, like being able to follow logic through nested containments is really important. You know what I mean? I think, I feel like it really helped me, you know, it really helped me be able to step-by-step things, you know, because when you start trying to take on really Herculean tasks, the best way to take Herculean tasks is to be able to break it down into like the tiniest root level chunks, and knowing which chunks come at the beginning and which chunks come at the end, and being able to process that, you know. And multitasking for sure. But yeah, so I don't know. I think some of that generational, kids are so much worse than they were. I think society's gotten better, guys. Okay? Society has definitely gotten better. You know, it has. Society has absolutely gotten better than it was when in the 70s for like 100-fold, man. I mean, it's been degenerating over the last 10 years, right? Because we've sort of had a return to some of that 1950s, 1940s reactionary, like roid rage emotionality that's unchecked. And it's become more about like trauma dumping as opposed to like holding space for others. But yeah, man. And I kind of agree what Willem says, that you're right. It's not the kids. I feel like it's the way adults are reacting to the technology is causing the kids a lot of harm, right? Adults are reacting like badly to the new technology, right? Like, remember, I don't know if you guys have seen the comment where people have said, and I think this is accurate, that what parents warned us would happen to us with video games has happened to them by using Facebook, right? Like, they told us video games were going to rot our brain, but it's actually Facebook rotted theirs, right? Everything they warned us about in video games has happened to their brains because of Facebook, you know? Dude, Facebook is like one of the worst, man. I try to stay away from that shit, dude. Oh, dude, it is a cesspool of like emotional dysregulation, bro. Oh, it's so bad. All right.
We put a man on the moon, and he just like called them up and was like, "Hey, press, what's up? I'm up here. Yeah, it's so cool. It's really great. It's nice. Starry night up here. Okay, I'm gonna text you. I gotta go by in 69." And they get these people, they tell you like he's a genius. They're all writing like he's a genius, so we should just accept that Elon Musk is a genius, because like all the writers who are obviously indoctrinated into the occult are telling us that this is the next person that we should worship. The establishment of Hollywood, it was all cults. They were all Aleister Crowley proteges who were just raping kids and summoning demons. And
dude, what is, everything is like a demon raping cult with these people, bro. Right? Hollywood, oh, they're summoning demons. Dude, what are they talking about? Like, what is their obsession with the demon cults? Like, these religious people are crazy, bro.
Demons are real. So at the same time that they're summoning demons, they are making us all believe that faith is not real. And that,
dude, I lived in Hollywood. I've worked in the film energy, in the film and television business for years, dude. I know people who are deep in this shit. Dude, there's no one in Hollywood fucking summoning demons. This is the spirit cooking bullshit, okay? There are not, I mean, sure, are there people, filmmakers that are interested in paganism and the occult and shit? Of course. I mean, my God, half of Candace's audience is interested in paganism and the occult. But they're like, Hollywood is not creating movies and shit trying to like summon demons. That is, every time, the only thing Hollywood is, guys, is there were like gay people, okay? If you go back to Hollywood, if you go back to the origins, guys, it was an open space where gay people could exist and they wouldn't lose their goddamn jobs. They still had to sort of be quiet about it, but like that's really all Hollywood has ever been, okay? The culture of Hollywood was like people that lived outside the societal norms. There was space for them to be who they were without judgment, and no one was going to out them or get them fired or try to like end their lives, right? That's really what it was. But like, dude, everywhere where like gay people are okay to these religious freaks is like some type of demonic thing. This is why they attack, you know, LA and San Francisco and Portland and Seattle and Chicago and New York. Why? Because they're gay friendly cities. Okay. It's like, it always comes down to their weird preoccupation with like gay sex. It's so bizarre, dude. You know what I'm saying? And so the thing about that, Jack, is it's not that there are a lot of pedos in the industry. There are a lot of pedos where there's a lot of power. Okay, it's not about Hollywood, the industry. It's like if you go to Hollywood where there's power, people have a lot of power, or in politics, or in the ministry, or teachers, educators, right? Or fathers, stepfathers, right? Or the uncle, right? It's like, it's power. It's not about Hollywood. It's like every industry or space where there's a lot of power is where you get that kind of behavior, that SA sort of shit, right? And it's not specific to Hollywood. It's just Hollywood generates a lot of power like that. But dude, you find that everywhere, man. I bet if you looked at the number of like business CEOs that are, you know, engaged in that kind of shit is probably high level, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's more about the power. And I mean, that's why it's so prevalent in government too.
That has been, I think, the greatest trick. that the devil ever played, right? Is making people think that he didn't exist.
The
and
devil.
making
God.
people atheist, making people believe that there's nothing, like you're here for a moment in time, because then it allows them to further tether us to their reality and to their God, which is money, right? Well, if
Dude, now I get, okay, sure, Altman and Peter Thiel and Elon Musk, they're God, yeah, money. I get that. Like, I'm not going to argue with that. But she's acting like Christians don't have their God being money. Like, hello, evangelical billionaires, right? You know what I'm saying? Or these religious guys like Larry Ellison or the Koch brothers or, you know, the Heritage Foundation, they're all like God is money. God money is like most of Christianity is God money. Like, what are we even talking about?
Truly knew and believed, like I do. I actually know that this is not it. Like, I know this is not it. But if you truly believed that, you wouldn't sell your soul. People think that that's just like an expression. Oh, he sold his soul. No, you are literally selling your soul. Like, when you tell lies and you go down a path of lying because you're so afraid of not having the security of a paycheck, or you're willing to do something terrible to maintain that job, or keeping your mouth shut to maintain that job.
Well, let me ask you, Candace, like, what do you feel about somebody who lies in order to gain money on YouTube? Right, Candace? What do you think about that? A person who maybe isn't a crazy tech maven, but say they have a YouTube channel and they'll just start the craziest fucking stories they can think of. So they get millions of views on YouTube and are making like $10, $15, $20,000 a day, right? Spinning these crazy yarns. Do you have a problem with that, Candace? Inquiring minds want to know. Because I don't think she does, man. I think she's fine with lying as long as it's presented as like, well, hey guys, right? Somebody talking about the tunnels and the fucking, right? And, you know, whatever 4chan conspiracy of the day, the Pizzagate, the fucking, you know, you stab Peter Thiel and a battery falls out. Like, come on, dude, who is she kidding, bro? She's like, oh, they're liars. By the way, I cut Elon's hand and fucking a 9-volt dropped out. Please, everybody, make sure you watch this sponsored thing about how to not turn into a battery. My new sponsor is Alkaline No for the low price of $29.95 a month. If you use my code, no adrenochrome will be extracted from your fucking kidneys. Dude, like, what is she doing, bro? Oh my God, dude, it's so funny.
We're seeing it right now with the Charlie Kirk case, right? You're selling your soul. Like, there's a life after this. They have made you pledge your allegiance to their dollar because they know life is going on. They know that. They want you to literally sell them your soul. That's my personal belief. It's why I am religious. It's why I speak about, you know, my faith openly, because I just know if this is not it. And I just know these people are demons. Like, I don't know. They just, like, look at the way they breathe. Like, you know what I mean? Same thing. I look at Sam Altman. I'm like, look, I don't know. But I know that's not, he's like droid, obviously.
But see, here's one of the things though, guys. If you look at Sam Altman, he's got a sister who has accused him credibly of being a sexual abuser. Okay, Sam Altman has. Elon Musk has, you know, some essay accusations that have come up and disappeared, right? Peter Thiel was going to the Epstein Island. I think the chance that all three of these guys are predator abusers is like really high, okay? That they are predatory, you know, total like sexual abusers. I think that's super fucking like, you know, 99.9% that all of them are highly abusive in that way, right? You know what I'm saying? But like this whole like that you're demons and like what's with this picture? Dude, like what is this image even? Like, are these the lizard people? Like this shit is weird, guys. I mean, and what's problematic, dude, is that people are like, her following are like, whoa, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how long before her following starts like thinking they're seeing lizard people and shit? But some of their crazy motherfuckers think like, oh, you feel like an energy battery. Like, dude, you guys see Better Call Saul? Have you guys watched that show? Okay, we're watching Better Call Saul now. We're almost done with it. But his brother Chuck, remember Michael McKean? So Jimmy fucking McGill's brother is Michael McKean, right? And he thinks he has this disorder. He broke up with a woman and he's maladjusted from the breakup. He never got over it. So he thought he was allergic to electricity and he cut up all the wires and was walking around with lanterns and shit. But ultimately what ended up happening is like he had a battery in his jacket. He had no problem with this shit, but he was convinced that he was allergic to electricity. Okay. And like, wow, man, when you believe shit, you can really fucking, you can really have some fucking symptoms, guys. Dude, and yeah, he was a douche, dude. Jesus. Dude, he was a fucking douche. I do love Albuquerque, though. I do love New Mexico, guys. I've had some shows in Albuquerque that were fucking amazing, and a tiny little town in eastern New Mexico called Clovis. Oh my God, dude. I had some shows in Clovis where like all the indie kids from like 100 miles around Clovis would show up at this like VFW lodges out in the desert, bro, shooting stars in the sky. Unfucking real, bro. Man, I've had some adventures in Clovis, New Mexico that you could not imagine, bro. Just an incredible fucking place. And a rich, like, Native and Hispanic fucking culture there. Like deeply rooted. It's like in the fucking soil, man. It's beautiful, dude. It's really powerful shit. I fucking love New Mexico. I do. I love it. It's amazing. You're in Albuquerque. Let's go. Oh, shit. Dude, let's go. Dude, love it, man. Dude, Clovis was wild, bro. At night, like, I'm telling you, dude, you go in the area, eastern New Mexico, in that Clovis area on those tiny roads at night during the summer, like August. Oh my God, it's muggy and kind of like warm, but it's also like arid. It's like a weird type of mugginess that's like, there's like moisture in the air, but there's not. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's not like Florida muggy, but it's also not like Arizona arid. It's like, I don't know. It's like there's like, it's dry, but there's like a layer of moisture that's like above the dry or something. So it still feels like, I don't know, it feels like perfect. And there's stars and shooting stars like all over the place, man. It's fucking crazy, dude. It's just unbelievable. It's beautiful. Smooth. Yeah, smooth is a good way of putting it. It's like, it is. It's like smooth, dude. It's amazing. Right? Dude, it's good shit. Good shit, boss. But yeah, dude, she's crazy. So, all right, let's look at her talking about fucking Donald Trump, shall we? About Trump and Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk's.
All right, so see, I'm going to get tagged, though, for this music, okay? So we're going to have to just read this, okay? We're going to have to read it, all right? Because I can tell already that if I play this music, I'm going to get fucking copy struck. So we're going to read what we got here, all right? And what does it say? It says, Candace Owens blames Donald Trump for Charlie Kirk's assassination. Candace Owens has controversially blamed Donald Trump for the assassination of Charlie Kirk, marking a significant shift in her stance towards the former president. All right. What does it say? It says, once a supporter, Owens now alleges that Kirk's murder may have been orchestrated by Trump and his admin promoting wild conspiracy theories about an inside job. See, what I want to find though, I want to find the actual like video of her saying this, okay? I know people have been alluding to it. Despite recent removals of episodes from her podcast on her official YouTube and Instagram accounts due to an ongoing gag order, Owens' comments continue to circulate online, okay? Oh, so it's on her social media? So because it's getting pulled off of YouTube? I got it. Now, guys, YouTube is restricting shit, okay? They're like being very careful. Like anytime I post shit about Trump and Epstein, YouTube will flag it, okay? And they'll like do like an extra check, like an extra sort of, you know, copyright fucking monetization check. And oftentimes they will not monetize it. Now I have to get a human review. Dude, TikTok is going the craziest. Like TikTok is like super crazy with that, where they will fucking put shit in like, oh, sorry, this is community guidelines violation. And then you have to wait, right? You have to wait for like a week sometimes until it gets like, you know, your appeal gets approved and the shit. And so Wendy, you don't have to screen video record it. If you can just put a link to her social media where we can watch it. Yeah, TikTok's gotten crazy. And guys, I have noticed it with ChatGPT too, okay? Can I just tell you? So I use ChatGPT to sort of look at my thumbnails and shit. And the other day I was using ChatGPT to analyze a thumbnail and a video title about Donald Trump and Epstein. And it basically said, I can't, it came out and said, I'm sorry, I can't comment about any political content that with that person in it. It basically said, like I had to, eventually I started a new window and was able to go back to the way I used it, but something got flagged where ChatGPT would not let me talk about Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein inside ChatGPT. It just refused to comment on the YouTube title or the thumbnail. It said, I'm sorry, if those images are in, you know, those political figures are in an image, I can't comment on that at all. It's wild, bro. All right, so there's been a gag order, I guess. What does it say? It says during her book club meeting on October 22nd, she expressed her loss of faith in Trump, saying, we just know that he was truly betrayed in one of the most egregious ways that I've ever seen. Okay. She criticized Trump and his team for supposedly abandoning Kirk, stating they were just like, nope. He serves us or he doesn't serve us. We want to move on. Okay. Owens' remarks on Kirk's death have drawn attention, particularly a claim regarding a national day of remembrance for Kirk, who was fatally shot on September 10. The holiday designated on October 14th, Kirk's birthday, was met with her skepticism. As soon as they give you a holiday, they definitely killed you, she remarked. Right? Owens confirmed her podcast will return from a hiatus on October 27th, responding to fan concerns about her absence on social media apart from her activity on Twitter. Following the viral spread of her comments, she addressed critics alleging that Zionists are now signing up to my book club to steal my content. Okay. Reflecting on her media break, Owens acknowledged needing time to process Kirk's death and its implications, asserting, I just really need to take a breather. Yeah, don't we all? She also indicated her intention to violate the gag order related to the case of State v. Tyler Robinson, claiming the things I've discovered this past week are enough to burn the house down. Okay. Ultimately, she emphasized, yes, Charlie was betrayed. Okay. So, yeah, I'm trying to find, though, you said it's on her social media. All right, let's see if we can find this. Dude, I didn't realize that she has like a gag order. All right. So, oh shit, here it is though. Dude, oh my God. So what is it really? Oh shit, dude. So this went down a couple days ago. I don't know why this didn't get, dude, I don't understand the algorithm on fucking Twitter, right? Because I've interacted so much with the 𝗙lie𝗪𝗃 shit and Candace Owens, and yet this never even found its way onto my timeline. Although the last couple days, my timeline's been filled with weird, creepy MAGA pastors. All right. So it says Candace Owens alleged on her podcast that donors, foreign entities, and 𝗙lie𝗪𝗃's inner circle orchestrated the sniper attack. Okay. Owens claims, including suspicions over post-death tributes like a Congressional Remembrance Day and an Israeli traffic circle naming, drew sharp rebukes from right-wing figures who called her unstable. Okay. And so Cat Turd said, I've been on Twitter for a long time. I've seen a lot of bullshit, but I've never seen anything as evil as what Candace Owens is doing to 𝗙lie𝗪𝗃's family. Oh shit, bro. Oh, damn, boss. She's are you, dox me, are you talking about Alphabet? Is that who you're talking about? The parent company for YouTube and Google? That is Alphabet, right? Isn't that their parent company? Dude, that shit, I don't know, dude. Everybody is kind of like fucking greasing Trump's knob these days, right? Oh, here it is. This is it. We actually have it, dude. Candace Owens is now openly claiming Trump killed 𝗙lie𝗪𝗃, dude. Dude, we found it. Yeah, no, it's all good, Docs. Good to see you, right? Good to see you. I'm sorry we got like, I wonder about, because I saw your comment on the YouTube things. And you know what's interesting is I think maybe it was a day when I had the chat on like Top Chat or whatever. And so you just couldn't see your shit coming up, right? Maybe that was it. But like, you've never been like muted or thrown under the bus. You know what I'm saying? I think sometimes though, if I have this on Top Chat, people don't see their shit. And then I don't see it. And then people think they've like disappeared or some shit. And it just is like, sometimes I fuck up. All right, let's see. So here she actually implicates Trump. This is crazy, dude. I love it. Love to see it. Let's see what she says, shall we?
Just really needed to just take a breather and really process everything that happened with 𝗙lie and what it kind of means in terms of where we are. And I think it is a circumstance where we just know. We just know that he was truly betrayed in one of the most egregious ways that I think I've ever seen. It has made me lose faith in politics. It has made me fully lose faith in Trump. And my heart aches for the fact that he gave so much of his life to Trump and to politics. And they just were like, nope, that is it. It serves us or it doesn't serve us and we want to move on. And so here's a holiday. Bro, if they try to give me a holiday, what is with them giving people a holiday after they kill them? Why is that a thing? You know what I mean? They're like, oh, Martin Luther King, what about this holiday? What about this boulevard? Anyways, let me knock it off. Like, they're going to give 𝗙lie𝗪𝗃 a boulevard. They already did. They did in Israel. They gave him freaking boulevard. It's like, as soon as they give you a boulevard and a holiday, they definitely killed you. Okay, there's no question. They killed you. There's no way. That's like their signature thing. It's like, that's what they do. It's the Fed signature. It's how they sign off after they murder you. They're like holiday and a boulevard. And it's never on a nice side of town either. Like 𝗙lie𝗪𝗃 Boulevard is not going to be a nice side of town. Anyways, I will be back on the 27th, you guys. Thank you guys for all the support throughout these couple of weeks, these last really kind of 6 weeks since 𝗙lie died. And we will see you guys then.
Dude, she's going to get herself killed, bro. Like, I mean, it's weird because I know she's like crazy. We literally just talked about her with the fucking lizard people or whatever. She's definitely crazy and milking some outlandish shit. But when I look at 𝗙lie𝗪𝗃 and the way this is played out and the way Netanyahu inserted himself into the conversation and sitting down with young influencers to try and win the young Trumpy people to Israel, I have pretty strong inkling that his own people did him in. The way they're playing it, like TPUSA had all kinds of money problems, and now they are like flush with cash. The movement is energized. Like, you may have noticed, do you guys remember the Gavin Newsom podcast with Charlie Kirk? Okay. Do you remember that? We watched it. And then I tried to make a video of it, and they copy struck me and shit. But so there was a section there, guys, that gave me the creeps. And I specifically talked about it in the video because, so Charlie Kirk had worked with Bill Montgomery and his father's GOP connections to build TPUSA. And TPUSA was originally this like youth outreach, converting young people to conservatism, funding for billionaire people. There's been a lot of people talking about it being like a money laundering thing. But then Trump co-opted it, okay? Like Trump, the act of serving Trumpism became the new Charlie Kirk thing. Like, Charlie Kirk wasn't a Trump converter, okay? Charlie Kirk was like, he was just a rock and roll kind of trying to be guy out there, like building up his own star. But then after Trump lost in 2020, they co-opted TPUSA. And then TPUSA and Charlie Kirk became an explicit vehicle of Trumpism. I'm going to get to the Gavin Newsom thing, though, in a second, guys. Okay? Because what happened was Charlie then became like passing out the hats and going to the frat houses and becoming this mouthpiece for Trump. Now, the reason why I bring up the Gavin Newsom thing is Gavin Newsom was talking to Charlie Kirk, and he was like trying to extract information out of Charlie. So he was like ego boosting him. Okay, a lot in that interview. Gavin was. He was being pretty manipulative. Like, oh, you know, my kid loves you, and oh, the way you guys just shellacked us. Like, tell me more. Tell me more. And one of the things that Gavin kept doing to Charlie was saying, Charlie, you built this incredible TPUSA thing. And what Charlie kept doing is every time Gavin would do that, Charlie would shut him down and would say, it's all Trump, right? This is all Trump. I didn't really do anything. This whole thing is Trump. And it was really weird to watch, okay? Because Charlie was serving Trump, but Charlie had built his own thing, guys, okay? There was a Charlie Kirk thing where you could tell he was like building his own political capital, particularly with young people, to be his own like political Trumpian kind of figure, okay? But anytime Trump was mentioned, Charlie would like shut that down and sort of like make himself smaller. And that's really weird, okay? Because Charlie was an arrogant motherfucker, okay? He was an arrogant, you know, like very fucking egotistical guy, dude. Like very high on his own supply, Charlie was. Extraordinarily, okay? And now what's wild about this is Charlie kept pushing on like Epstein. Charlie kept pushing on like Israel, right? Charlie kept pushing on like, you know, this sort of deep state shit that wasn't, you know, was sort of like bigger than Trump, okay? Like his own sort of political thing. You know what I mean? And so that really made me wonder if like I could absolutely see Trump being at the point of where, well, he doesn't get to run again because of the 22nd Amendment. So he doesn't really need Charlie Kirk anymore. He doesn't need him going to the frat houses. He doesn't need him passing out the hats. But what he does need is he doesn't need somebody who wants to be bigger than him, like fucking up his control plans, right? He doesn't want somebody that is going to focus on Epstein too much to be fucking up shit. And now there's no doubt that Candace is grifting. Okay, there is no doubt that Candace is grifting, but I don't know, dude. She also, though, like, she had a relationship with Charlie. She was actually really close to him for a while. They were very, very close. And Candace definitely fell out with some of the people that Charlie was hanging out with. But, like, I don't know, Charlie was starting to fall out with some of the people that Trump was hanging out with, you know? And so, I don't know, man. Some of this shit just doesn't fucking add up, you know? You know what I mean? And definitely Netanyahu's behavior on the heels of this was like very bizarre. Okay? I have never seen an unrelated world leader, you know, behave in such a way, you know what I'm saying? I have never seen an unrelated like world leader get so involved in you know, a fucking, right? In like that, you know? It's just bizarre. It's like flipping a script, knowing what you're doing, like the script is already written for you, too convenient, MTG Candace. Yeah. I mean, dude, Jake, what do you, like, tell me about that. Talk to me about that. Thank you, boss. Good to see you. Right? Like, are you talking about like Charlie Kirk? Or you're talking about Candace, right? Flipping the script and coming up with all of a sudden, oh, hey, look at this other side. You know? Yeah, dude, yeah, no, the Epstein thing was bizarre, guys. The way he like issued a statement. You could tell Charlie got spoken to about Epstein. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then he still kind of pressed it with that Megyn Kelly shit. And I mean, guys, have you seen how there is some talk about them just not opening the government? Like Mike Johnson might just keep the House just unconvened so they can never release the Epstein shit. Like, guys, I literally, the more we go into this, the more it seems like the Epstein, whatever's hidden in that Epstein shit is literally the 100% focus of the entire GOP is just to make sure that that shit does not get seen. Right? Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. No, you know what, Jake? I see what you're saying, right? That you're right. That like Charlie Kirk, once Charlie Kirk got Trump elected this time, Charlie was supposed to just disappear and just be a mouthpiece for the Trump organization. And he was not, okay? Once Trump, you know, got elected, Charlie Kirk was still like being Charlie Kirk. And like now I'm going to, you know, be the investigator and the pressurer, and I'm going to develop my own narrative of what we should be doing next. I mean, he definitely, like my mom called it, getting too big for your britches. And after Charlie Kirk got Trump elected, he started getting really big for his fucking britches. Like you could tell that he was wanting to, right? He was wanting to be Trump down the road, you know? Dude, this shit is pretty wild, bro. But that's crazy. Look at this, though. Dude,
really needed to just take
dude, these people are freaking out. They are freaking out. Dude, look at this. Look at Crowder. Crowder says to all Candace Owens supporters, right? Or this person, yeah. How disgusting do you have to be to accuse the wife of a man who was shot and killed of planning it or having any part in it? Dude, this is from Crowder. Dude, the wife beater. Dude, thank you, Jake. Dude, the pastor, you're talking about the guy with the leggings. Dude, I lit that guy up, bro. Oh my God, I ratioed him so bad. Like I woke up this morning and the tweet under his had like 16,000 likes or some shit. Dude, that guy's just getting brutalized. Dude, look at Crowder. All right.
Well, Charlie's wife, 𝗙𝗏𝗃, who has now been put, Candace with that language, with this accusation, has put the wife of Charlie Kirk, and she'll say, that's not what I tried to do. It is. It's the result. 𝗙𝗏𝗃 in the crosshairs.
Dude, 𝗙𝗏𝗃 put herself in the crosshairs.
It's not like you have to look through 6 degrees of separation.
Dude, yeah, this music fucking copy struck me, dude. I gotta fucking mute it. We gotta mute up. Dude, Trump trying to lick it, bro. Dude, what is he doing over here, boss? The fuck is Trump doing, dude? Remember? All right.
Post after post and article after article with both Kirks, but certainly 𝗙𝗏𝗃 praising, thanking President Trump, discussing how important his support has been. So
yeah, I mean, that's exactly what she'd be doing, right? You know what I mean? If she was part and parcel with Charlie going to be with Jesus, I mean, think about it. If she's really one of those devout, crazy evangelicals, maybe she's convinced that Charlie's going to be with Jesus and it's serving the Lord here on earth, right? Sacrificing people is something evangelicals don't really have a problem with. They're just like the guys who fly planes into buildings. I'm telling you, these fucking deeply evangelical people, guys, are batshit. Okay? You get in there, you get into like these like tongue-speaking churches, and they really would sacrifice their kids, man. They would, or their loved ones. They are not fucking concerned about that shit. If it's serving the Lord, it's fucked up.
So if the Trump administration, if the Fed killed Charlie Kirk, look, there's no middle ground here right now. Either 𝗙𝗏𝗃 is evil,
probably,
and was in on it, or Candace Owens is an evil.
Dude, he loves that word, bro.
I hope I'm being really clear about that.
Yeah.
And saying
now, I think there's probably a little of both, bro.
We shouldn't connect all the dots. Just that is not an excuse when there is a grieving family right now.
But dude, are they really grieving? Right? Like honestly, guys. And I don't mean to be a dick here, but is anyone related to Charlie Kirk really grieving? Because it sure doesn't seem like it. They may send a tweet, oh, I think about Charlie every 10 minutes. But you saw Andrew Colvett talking to Adam Mockler. That guy didn't look like he was grieving. He looked like a fucking sociopath. Okay? Every time these people speak, there's no emotion. They're just about power. They have their eyes set on middle schools and high schools and a TPUSA takeover. They're hitting the cash register 100 times a day. They're posting pictures of these situations they're setting of people waving posters of Charlie. For Charlie. They have an empty chair on stage with them. Dude, they are like cashing in and accumulating power and trying to expand their ministry. They are not they don't appear to be like, and what's more, guys, is if they were grieving, I feel like they would have like respected Charlie's belief system. But the very fact that they're trying to get people jailed for talking about Charlie, like everything Charlie believed in, they're like driving a fucking bulldozer right over the top of it. They have completely replaced Charlie's ideology with their own like Wailing Wall, sort of like pro-Trump, fucking manufactured, let's get into the middle schools. You know what I mean? Like they have bulldozed Charlie's whole thing to become like a Trump. I've even seen people in their comments saying, whoa, when did TPUSA become just an arm of like the Trump regime? Why is TPUSA just a Trump megaphone now? right? From their own fucking membership have said this, where they're like, whoa, this is weird, right? Because Charlie was like, he helped Trump get elected, but he had his own shit that was beyond like Trump, you know?
Who's not just left holding the bag, but you know very well will put Erica Kirk in the crosshairs. Let me ask you this. If you were killed and someone out there for clicks, clickbait, headlines, went out and espoused conspiracy theories with zero evidence that put your wife or your husband in the crosshairs, where you knew after you had passed.
It's kind of sounding a lot like Sandy Hook, right? And Alex Jones, who is somebody that all these guys had no problem with, remember? Remember Alex Jones and Sandy Hook putting all their parents into the crosshairs? And not famous rich parents like Erica Kirk, right, who were connected to the president, but little parents in fucking Newtown, Connecticut, who were just all of a sudden in a national spotlight, and they're trying to convince people they did an op for gun control, right? Remember that? Or Jack Posobiec and Pizzagate, right? I mean, who are these fuckers kidding, bro? That now they're like, oh, you know, they're like, Candace is doing the same shit these motherfuckers have been doing since the dawn of time, bro. You know?
That the person you love was going to have to deal with fallout and accusations of killing you and villainized. It'd probably be as close to coming back as a haunting as you could possibly hope for, right?
Dude, look at Crowder. Crowder's like, I'm so concerned about Erica. Dude, homie's trying to get laid, dude. He's like, maybe if I throw my hat, right? Because my own wife is going to take me for everything. I'm done because I've abused her. So maybe I'll put a hat in on Erica. Dude, is that what he's doing? Dude, he is. He's trying to get in. He's like, Erica, hey, honey, I promise I'll be nice to you. It'll be different this time. Dude, I'll buy you flowers. Dude.
Either Erica Kirk is in on this, and just to be clear, that's obviously rhetoric. Of course she's not. And of course there's no evidence that she was. And of course there will be some very unstable people, which is by design from Candace, who will accuse me of being paid by the Trump administration or Mossad or whatever it is. Insert all the crap here. Either Erica Kirk is evil and conspired with the Trump administration to kill her husband, Charlie Kirk, to assassinate him in cold blood.
Maybe.
Or Candace Owens has officially crossed the Rubicon to evil. Tell me if you disagree, and we'll take your chat on it later. But those are my initial thoughts. And I'm going to call it gonna weasel out. And I didn't say that, and I didn't imply that, and we're just asking questions. You need to do better. One final thing. People have talked about this. Is it true? Is it not? Is that actually the psyop where the left has wanted to drive a wedge between those on the right? Do you think that fracturing those on the right over a baseless conspiracy?
I mean, it sounds good, actually, Crowder. That's what I'm putting my hat in the ring. I'm like, I'm going to make some videos about this. I'm going to try to fracture. Absolutely. Like, fuck you guys. Dude, you guys deserve to be fractured. You're already fractured, boss. I hate to tell you, but you guys are already fractured. You are neck deep in Epstein and Trump and fucking Netanyahu and Charlie Kirk, and you guys are all full of shit, and you're lying, and you're manipulative, and none of you are grieving, and you're all like feeding the same bullshit information when obviously something went down. Something stinks about this shit. Dude, come on, baby. We are gonna burn this shit to the ground, motherfucker.
That the most effective president in modern American history killed one of the most effective public figures in modern American history?
Yeah, because that figure was trying to eclipse him and trying to get the Epstein files out. It's believable. I'm not saying it is, but it's believable. Has Trump had somebody else offed before? Yeah, I'm certain he has, right? Through people he did business with. The guy fucking The guy started a casino, man. There are bodies buried because of Trump. Guarantee it. He's definitely, his ex-wife maybe, right? He's definitely had some fucking people killed, for sure. He definitely faked the shit with his ear. Like, come on, bro. Okay, cartilage does not grow back, but Trump grew back. He's like a goddamn, like a leopard gecko, dude. You cut off his ear and that motherfucking thing grows back. And you put a Kotex on it and it grows back like a couple weeks later. Like, come on, bro. Nah. You know what I mean? No fucking way, bro. Stinks to high heaven. And yes, Trump was not the most productive anything, dude. Trump is a chaos maker, dude. That guy hasn't gotten shit done, bro.
Who's survived by his wife, who happens to be very close with a supportive president. I couldn't think of a more effective wedge issue. So either way, if it's stupidity or it's proactive evil, you must do better, sweetheart.
Question for the crew. What can we say to the people who listen to Candace and believe her? It feels like talking to a leftist at this point, and I'm not sure how we can break through to them.
It does.
I don't know. They're in chat. Good luck.
Dude.
Some of them are.
Oh, see? It feels like talking to a leftist, right? Why does it feel like talking to a leftist for them? Isn't that telling that, like, right? Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about this. Because there's a saying, guys. You ready? You ready, guys? There's an AA saying, and a really good one. And those of you who are in recovery have gone to AA, you'll recognize this saying. But the saying, guys, the AA saying is if it's everyone, it's you. Okay? That's the saying. And the meaning behind it is like, if I go out and I run into one person where I'm like, God, this person's being unreasonable. Okay, maybe that person's having a bad day and maybe that person is really the problem. But if I go out and everybody I run into on that day is just being a douche, it's me that's being a douche, right? If everyone is unreasonable and the problem is you. And so the reason why I bring this up is because MAGA are always like, ooh, it's the leftists, it's the radical left, it's these people, the LGBTQ, it's the leftists that are the problem. But now they're like, oh, talking to the people who believe Candace, now it's like, they're like talking to a leftist, right? They're getting to the whole, well, everybody but us who just snort Trumpism, everybody who's not us is unreasonable and fucking off their rocker. And it's like, no, they're just starting to realize that, like, no, they're really whacked out, you know? They are really fucking whacked out. And like, guys, man, I'm telling you right now, this Epstein shit just looms a lot larger than I ever really thought it did, okay? And I mean, I'm reading Virginia's book. I'm reading fucking the old Miami Herald shit and the Julie K. Brown book. And like, there is like, dude, like, I don't know, man. It some of it feels, and I can't prove this, and this may be a conspiracy of my own, but sometimes, guys, I sit back, okay? Sometimes I sit back and I feel like the only reason Donald Trump ran for president was to make the Epstein shit disappear. Right? That, like, the entire anti-Obama shit, the kick up of racism, the whole reason he got into the race and got all the funding he got to dismantle the Republican Party was simply to make the Epstein shit go away. That if he didn't get into that position of power, and why the reason why January 6th happened, guys, was because he really thought Biden was going to out it all, right? That he thought by Biden winning and Merrick Garland taking over that all of that shit was going to get out. And then miraculously it didn't, because They prosecuted Ghislaine Maxwell, and Joe Biden was busy cleaning up his mess. He wasn't like, Joe Biden's goal wasn't to release Epstein. He just trusted his DOJ. But like, dude, like so many of the people that were in the DOJ while Biden was in charge were like Trump people. Biden didn't clean them all out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I really think sometimes that like trying to make that go away has been Trump's primary function, you know, ever since Epstein originally got arrested all the way back, you know, this was like 2006 to 2008, you know, when 𝗪𝗪 was sweeping this under the rug, and then Pam Bondi became the Attorney General of Florida. Like, sometimes it feels like, and maybe it's not even just about Trump's role, but it's about all the people in power, the people that guarantee Trump's power being in those files. You know what I mean? It's not about like Trump's individual involvement in as much as it's about him knowing every single person's involvement and having known it the whole time. And he's like in charge of making sure that nobody ever finds out about it, right? And he's the only person who is like, you know, like, it's like he knows where all the skeletons are buried. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. You know, it's like, it just feels like ridiculous how outrageous these guys will go to hide that shit. You know, that is global. It is like global, right? It is not just, you know, Trump and his buddies. It is like global, you know? You know what I mean? There's like some global shit going on. And man, I feel like we got to force this shit. But right now, guys, you know what I feel like right now, guys? We got to fucking dance. That's what we got to do now, because I got to go make some videos. So we're going to fucking dance, baby. You ready? Are you ready for that dance? Dude, did somebody ask for a dance party? I believe they did. Let's get edit mode going. Oh! Yeah, no, Janet, you're not wrong about that. Like, so much shit, like, got disappeared. And even not only the stuff that got confiscated, but all the shit that disappeared before that stuff got confiscated when Adriana Ross had the computers taken out. And then she got immunity. Her and Sarah Kellen and Leslie Groff and fucking Nadia Marcinkova, like all of the Epstein Island women, they removed a bunch of computers. Like a whole bunch of shit fucking disappeared before they even started confiscating shit. Like, dude, this shit is nuts. All right, but now we dance, baby. You guys ready? Dude, we gotta fucking cut a rug, all right? Thank you to everybody who's supporting. I appreciate you guys fucking keeping this rolling. All right, we are going to fucking keep like looking at this shit. We're going to keep digging through this shit, guys. We're going to keep undermining MAGA. All right? We got to undermine MAGA, bro. We got to keep like fracturing their coalition. Exactly what Crowder said. Okay? We've got to fucking break this shit apart. Right? You know what I mean? We're going to break it apart. Like exacerbate the fracturing. Okay? That's what we got to do, dude. There's definitely a rift. Without a doubt, man. And now it's our turn to break this shit up. All right, let's dance. We're dancing, guys. All right, let's go. You ready? Oh, I'm ready. All right, get limber. You guys better be dancing at home too, all right? Dude, AI overview. Dude, AI overview is kind of funny though. It's always like full of shit, right? Half of it. All right, here we go though, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get it. Gotta dance for that soul, baby.
Almost a bit holy, notion that I will make it out somehow. A little deja vu, I'm gonna get it right. A little time with you, and I can see it light.
I can move those hips, boss. Here to make up my mind. Is all that I desire, and that I'm blinded by the stars in my eyes. Let's go, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. All right? Keep it real. Take care of that head. I know we're going through a lot of crazy shit right now. So make sure you're taking care of your mental health. All right, guys? Because we got a long way to go. And yeah, dude, we're going to go out with a little radiant. I will see you guys tomorrow. Big love, baby. Be good to yourselves.
I just wanna change the world. I just want the perfect girl. I don't wanna hang around, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder. wanna change the world, but I'm not gonna wait my turn. I don't ever want to come down, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure